in a sense, because these 2 months we are only knowing about something that is a kind of a virus where people are very much even more like enthusiastic or more interested to know about what actually it is. That is nothing but a life. That is a bio. That means a life. And today I'm going to do the same. That is the introduction. Introduction about the biology. So to start with, so to start with, the introduction of biology. Bio means is nothing but life, and that is what we are going to learn today. So, giving a clear picture about what is actually is biology is something where it is about cell organelles, cell tissues, organs, system of organs, and then which leads to organism, animal, ecosystem, and then leads to one biosphere. That is what nothing but biology. So coming to next slide, that is what is biology. So, okay, so biology is nothing but, biology is a study of life. Bio itself means life. So, and logy means study. Study, to study anything, either it is about who study or the study. Okay, so biology is nothing but it's a study of life. If I put it more specifically, what it is, or to put it into like in a more this in a better way, if I say, then it is the scientific study of living organisms and their interactions with the environment. Okay, so the scientific study of living organisms and their interactions with environment. So let us break this a little more easier. Okay, in let us break this definition and learn it. Scientific is nothing but which is leads to like a study, a kind of a study where we take up interest or we get to learn it. Okay, so scientific study is nothing but where we ourselves go into that, where we can study these little minute things. Living is nothing but which, living is very simple, where I can say is where, which lives, which reproduces, which locomotes, and which is something which does all the activities which are living organisms do. That is respires, then locomotion, that is it moves from one place to another. Whereas you can say, you will be like thinking that either also plants are the living organisms, but even if the plants are the living organism, that they won't be locomoting, but there are so many activities going on with these living organisms, which puts them into this category of living organism. That is, they also transpire, respire, and there is some reactions taking place in them. Okay, so once again I'm repeating it. Biology is nothing but study of life. Bio itself means life. Okay, so keep this in mind. So next, coming to their interactions with the environment. So the thing is, like you must be very familiar, like in your classes, like when you were in school, with studying in schools and all, you must be very familiar with this essays like of environment, or to know about environment, where you used to write essays about environment or about Paryavaran or anything like that. So what you used to see is the Paryavaran or the environment which is around you, interacting with you, is nothing but the environment. Yes or no? The interacting with you is the environment. Environment interactions is nothing but where the organism interacts with the environment or is dependent on the environment. Like for example, if I say, like we as in humans are dependent on the plants, are dependent on the animals for some or the other thing, like for the resources, and also from the like those non-living resources as well, such as water, land, or anything specifically. We are being dependent on that. That means there is an interaction between the environment and the human beings or the living organisms. So if again, if I want to put this in this specific manner, then this interaction is nothing known as ecosystem. Ecosystem is nothing but the interaction between the living organism and the environment. Okay, the ecosystem is nothing but the interactions between the living organism and the environment. So don't worry, just keep your mind open and learn the very easy and the specific definition of biology, that is nothing but study of life. If I want to put it more specifically, then it is nothing but the scientific study of living organisms and their interactions with the environment. Okay, the scientific study of living organism and their interactions with the environment. So, for example, now if I'm taking an example, that is, if you see anything like a different flower or a different bird or anything for in manner, any insect or anything, so you are very curious to know about it, right? You go see, pluck, or just click a picture of it. For now, it is like a, for now, if it is, I say about the train, so we just click a picture to know how it is, how the flower is, the color is. That is nothing but where we are curious to know that how the flower is or how that particular organism is. That means we are kind of doing a study for that, or kind of giving one interest to know about that particular organism or that particular flower if I want to see. That is nothing but the basic level of where we are curious to know about life. Okay, the basic level of we are curious to know about life. Next, coming to what is biology? Actually, the term, why it is given, like why the term is biology, from where it is coming, we should know about it, right? So, biology, it comes from two Greek words. It comes from two Greek words, and the bio, the biology is been separated, or I should say it is been like it has been separated in between. That is nothing but bios plus logos. If I want to say, it is separated like bios plus logos. Now the thing is, what is meant by bios? Okay, what is meant by bios? And in bios means in the Greek language, that is life. Okay, that is life. And logos, that is nothing but the study. The study of, or the study. Okay, particular, that means to study anything. Okay, that can be anything. Like many, you must be like familiar about many such terms like microbiology, then zoology, then many such terms which comes in biology as well. That nothing means nothing means logos means to study. Okay, and bios means life, and it is derived from two Greek words. It is derived from two Greek words. I'll repeat, I'll say this once again, that if you are finding it difficult, just put the points down, know what it is, read once again, and it will be easy for you to, next time when you are going through those points, it will be easy for you to know that, okay, this particular term means life, or this particular term means to study of. So it will be easy next time. So it won't be difficult. Okay, this what did the ma'am say last time? It won't be difficult for you. So I will request everyone to just note down the points here. So I'm once again I'm repeating. Biology means it is being it is a what I should say. It is being segregated term, that is bios and logos. Okay, it has been segregated term, or I should say it has been mixed term, that is where bios means life and logos means to study of. Okay, and biology is the study of life, God, living things, which we have been we have been gone through it, like in the first slide. That is nothing but study of life. Biology is nothing but study of life. It is now, it is must be very easy for you, because knowing that bios means life and logos means study. So if anyone asks you, in the further in future, then you should know that what does biology mean. What does biology mean? Biology means nothing but the study of life or living things. Remember this: the study of the study of life or living things, or living things means biology. The study of life and or living things means biology. So hopefully it has been clear again. Once again, I am repeating: bios means life. It is derived from two Greek words, bios and logos. Bios means life and logos means to study of. Hopefully you have understood the concept. So I'm trying to be slow, and hopefully it's getting everything's have been clear for you. So coming to the next slide now. Coming to the next slide now. So again, it is the same which I have been put in the slide itself. Which have been put in the slide itself. That is bio means life. Write it down if you are feeling it difficult. Write it down. Please note these points down. It's easy for your understanding later. Biology is the study of life or the study of living things. Now coming to one more very interesting term, that is we all. So there is a, like, it's always like whenever we anyone asks us like what you want to be, or what is your aim, or anything as such, so we are like, we are very curious, like we will write something, someone will say cricketer, someone will say singer or something in it. There are some of those also who wants to learn about the life, that is the life that is nothing but biology. So it's very easy term. So one who wants to learn cricket is known as a cricketer. That means the one who wants to study biology is known as a biologist. Okay. So one who wants to learn biology is known as a biologist. So biologist is nothing but remember these terms. Remember these terms, please. Whoever don't remember these terms, write it down and take again and again. I'm repeating in the class. Biologist is nothing but the person who studies biology. The person who studies biology is the one who is the biologist. Okay. The person who studies biology is known as a biologist. If later on, if I ask you that who are the biologists, or what does the biologist mean, that you have to be able to answer. Biologist means someone who studies biology. Okay. Biologist is someone who studies biology. Now, see, for everything we have, everything that is the new inventions or anything, we have to know about the history about it. Yes or no? History is nothing but to know or learn about the background of it, a background of a particular anything. If any such new like, as you know about the pandemic, or like any such viruses and all which have been which will be coming or which have been coming, yeah, those things are been, those things have been only known better only after knowing what actually the this the history behind it. Okay, what was from where these this viruses or these particular this organism has originated? So to know about it, we also have to know about the brief history of biology. So I'm giving a short, very short explanation about the history of biology. So these are few scientists or the physicians, I must say, very renowned. You must have seen the pictures in these pictures in your previous textbooks or anywhere in the sense, any such magazines or any, like books where you have read. So the thing is, the brief history of biology has the important this part of these scientists or these physicians. So the first one is a very renowned and known person or a scientist, that is Aristotle. The second one is Galen. The third picture is Andres Vesalius. The fourth one is William Harvey. The fifth one is Marcello Malpighi, and sixth one is Antony van Leeuwenhoek. So some of these, Antony van Leeuwenhoek, Aristotle, William Harvey, you must be very familiar about these. I'll be giving the information about what they have done and what are their contributions in the history of biology. How they have been, how they are the one are the reason for the discoveries of these discoveries in the biology. So these are the some of these scientists. Okay, these are the some of the scientists. So the first one is Aristotle, the second one is Galen, the third one is Andres Vesalius, the fourth one is William Harvey, fifth one is Marcello Malpighi, and the sixth one is Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Okay, these are the scientists. Keep these pictures in mind, just to know about them. There is no much to take. No much to take any like I have to remember something like that, but just remember these people. Okay. So again, now as I have shown you the picture, let me make more familiar to them, them to you people. So first one, as you seen in the picture, that is was Aristotle. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher, and one among them who just had the start of this classification, I should say, in the biology. The first who classified living things into air, water, and land. Okay. So the first one who classified living things into air, water, and land, he classified this. So Aristotle is known uh, for this classification, as well as known for his given theory of spontaneous generation. He gave this theory of spontaneous generation. He said that the living organism come from non-living organisms. Okay, so he said that living organism come from non-living organism, and he just classified these things, these living things, into air, water, and land. Okay, classified living things into air, water, and land, and he is known as a father of biology. So remember, Aristotle is known as the father of biology. He was a Greek philosopher. He was the first one to classify living things into air, water, and land. He was a person who gave the theory of spontaneous generation, where he said that living things come from non-living things, and he is known as the father of biology. If anytime in further, if I ask you who is known as the father of biology, you must be able to answer, because Aristotle is the one. Okay, Aristotle is known as the father of biology. Now coming to the next one, who was a Galen there. He was a Greek physician as well, first to dissect apes and pigs. Okay, so now the term, that is dissect, okay, must be new to someone, must be some of them familiar. Dissect must dissect, very simple way, is nothing but to cut or just to slice or something like that. Okay, to cut or some slice something like that. Because dissection, you must be very familiar with people saying that in labs and all, dissection of the rats, dissection of some of these animals, laboratory animals has been done to know more about the organism, their structure, how their functions, to know about the how the medicines work over there. So like this, the dissection is very important process. So first, he was the first one to dissect. Okay, he was the first one who took the idea of dissection. Okay, he was the first one who took the idea of dissection, and he was the first to dissect apes and pigs. Okay, who comes apes? Who comes under the family of monkeys? So he was the first one to dissect apes and pigs, and he is known as the father of anatomy. So why it's very clear, right? Because he was the first one to dissect apes and pigs. So he is known as the father of anatomy. Now write and take down so that you must not forget what is anatomy. Anatomy is not nothing but the detailed study of internal structure of any living organisms. Okay, internal structure any living organism. Okay, but now giving an example, see, you must be very familiar about this also, like the human body structures and all. You must have seen the pictures in your previous classes, books and all. So you must have seen them from the esophagus, that is from the mouth till the anus, how the whole process or the whole anatomical structure is there in your body. Okay, that is nothing but the anatomy which you see internally, what is there inside the body. Okay, internally what you see inside the body, either it is like from like to know what is there inside the body, what organs are there, how it works, how the functions are taking place. Okay, anatomy is nothing but anatomy to know about the internal structure or to the detailed study of the internal structure of any living organisms as such. Okay, either it is microorganism, either it is animals, either it is human beings, anyone it is, to know about the internal structure of the body and to know about the internal structure of the body is known as the anatomy. Okay, to know about the internal structure or to know about the detailed study of the internal structure of any living organism is known as anatomy. Okay, now as you have have become familiar about the term anatomy, that means that you must know why. You must also understand why he is known as the father of anatomy, because he was the first to dissect. Okay, he was the first to dissect apes and monkeys and know their anatomical features. Anatomical features means the internal structures. Anatomical features means the internal structure, whereas the external features or the external structures are known as morphological. Okay, the external structures are known as morphological. Anatomy means the detailed study of the internal structure of any living organisms. Okay, so Galen was a Greek physician. He was the first to dissect apes and pigs. Okay, first to dissect apes and pigs. So dissect means to cut or to slice, to cut and see inside what is there in that particular animals which he took as apes and pigs, to know how their functions is, how the internal structure is, how many organisms are, how many organs are there present there, how they work. He was the first one to see, so he is known as the father of anatomy. Galen is known as the father of anatomy. Remember this. Galen is known as the father of anatomy, and Aristotle is known as the father of biology. Aristotle is known as the father of biology, and Galen is known as the father of anatomy. Why he is known as the father of anatomy is because he was the first one to dissect apes and pigs. Okay, first one to dissect apes and pigs. And dissection of the apes and pigs only means he wanted to see what is there inside their body or how it is functioning. That means that he wanted to know about the anatomical features of the apes and pigs. Whereas morphological, he can see, however, he can see it like the features are visible to him. Yes or no? So he wanted to know what is inside the body of these animals. So he wanted to know more about them. He wanted to do a detailed study of the internal structure, the structural study of the anatomical features. Okay, the structural study of the anatomical features. He wanted to dissect them and see. Okay, he wanted to dissect them and See, so that clears again. Once again, I'm repeating, anatomy is nothing but the detailed study of internal structure of any living organism. Okay. So next coming to Andreas Vesalius. So you have seen the picture in the older slide. You have seen here. The third one, that's Andreas Vesalius. Andreas Vesalius. You can this is a person, Andreas Vesalius. So who was he? Let him know him more. So Andreas Vesalius was the made the first dissection on human anatomy. So I have made it clear, right? What is anatomy? That was Galen had done on apes and pigs. That means he had done on animals. Yes or no? He had done on animals. Galen had done on apes and pigs. That means he has done on animals. Whereas this anatomy, again, the detailed study of internal structure of any living organism, for that sense, he had done on humans. Andreas Vesalius had done on humans. But the first one was, however, Galen, so he is known as father of anatomy. So, made the first dissection on human anatomy, discovered comparative anatomy. So, he did was, he was the first one to dissect. That means to cut or slice. Okay, to cut or slice, he was the first one to dissect. That is to cut or slice the human and to see what is the human anatomy. That is the detailed structure of the detailed study of the internal structure of the humans, where you are very familiar for humans from the mouth and the esophagus, then coming to the stomach, then the pancreas, liver, then small intestine, large intestine, then the anus. These all are things which comes in the anatomical features of the humans. Yes or no, that comes in the anatomical features in the human, that is the inside internal structure, the inside body of the humans. So he was the first one to dissect the human. He was the first one to dissect the humans and to see what is there inside the body of a human being. So, and he also discovered comparative anatomy is because, see, already the Galen had done dissection of apes and pigs. Yes or no? He had done the dissection of apes and pigs. That means he had done it on animals. Okay, he had done it on animals. Whereas the person Andreas Vesalius, or the scientist, he did on human and saw the differences or the comparison between this dissection of animals and this dissection of humans. That means the study of detailed internal structure was done by Andreas Vesalius on human. Okay, so he had done on humans. Okay, for next coming to William Harvey. William Harvey, what he did, you can see this in the picture here. William Harvey, this one is a person. So William Harvey was something showed conclusively that the heart pumps the blood and the blood circulates. So now everyone are familiar that heart is an organ which pumps the blood and it circulates throughout the body. Yes or no? The circulation takes place throughout the body. So everyone are very familiar with it. But who was the one who discovered it, or who was the one who concluded it that this only happens, like heart only pumps the blood and the circulation takes place all over the body? So that person was William Harvey. Okay, that person was William Harvey. So he showed that the heart pumps the blood and the blood circulates using the circulatory system in our body. Okay, the circulatory system are nothing but the arteries, the veins which are present in the body, all throughout the body. That shows that the heart, all throughout the body. He was a person, that is the William Harvey. Always remember this. If I ask you in the further classes that who said or who concluded that the heart pumps the blood and the blood circulates, that was scientist was William Harvey. He was the scientist. Okay, so he showed, means he just concluded it that this is the thing, that heart pumps the blood and the blood circulates all over the body. Next, coming to Marcello Malpighi. Marcello Malpighi, you must have seen the picture over here. Here, that is the fifth one. This person he is. So Marcello Malpighi, what he did, who was he? First we know he's an Italian physician and anatomist. Again, anatomist means he was a person who was to be doing a detailed structure about, detailed study about the structure of the internal structure of the living organism. So we had known about biologist. Biologist is someone who studies the biology. Yes or no? So anatomist is someone who studies about the anatomical features of any living organism. For that sense, anything, it can be animals, plants, any living microorganism, human beings, anything. For that reason, he was the person who used to do the dissection. He was the person who used to do the dissection, and he was a founder of microscopic anatomy. So this must be something very new for you, something very new term. I can say what is microscopic? What is microscopic anatomy? So coming to what is microscopic anatomy is nothing but to see the internal structure or to see what is inside the microorganism using microscope. So now another term, what is microscope? Microscope is nothing but an instrument which is used to see those organisms which is not visible to us with our naked eyes. Naked eyes means like we can't see it through our naked eyes. You want to use, or we must use this instrument to see these kind of organisms. Okay, very microscopic. Micro, if I want to make it even more clearer, micro is nothing but very small. Okay, very small. And microorganism means you can just make it out that micro means small and organism means the living organism, or the living I mean which is the living organism, I can say. So micro is a small, and organism is something which is like living. Okay, there are many activities, metabolic activities are being going on inside that particular organism. Now coming to a popular example, if I say, which is, you must be very familiar about it. So the example is nothing but COVID, that is which is familiarly known as coronavirus. That is why I have taken the example of COVID is because it is microscopic, as well as microscopic, if I want to say, it is a microorganism, and as well as is a virus. Okay, it's a virus which comes under the another branches of microorganisms. But why I'm taking the example of COVID is because no one has like seen it until and unless you see it under the microscope. That too, it's dealing that it is a virus, that must be even more minute and very microscopic. Taking that example, that's a virus, it might be very very minute for that sense, because other bacteria and other organisms like the protozoans, archaebacteria, and are might be visible in the microscope. But taking that as a virus, that must be even more microscopic. The example why I'm taking it, to see the particular virus or to see the particular organism, that how it is working, how the structure is, what is that, what is there in that virus. So why it is acting on the human in that way, why it doesn't affect only the lungs, why it is being affecting only the this respiratory tracts, or this respiratory system of the human beings. To study more about it, the microscope has been used. Okay, to study more about it, the microscope it is used, and by using the microscope, we can lately make it out that how it has been done, or to know about how the structure is. Okay, to know about how the structure is. Why he was the Italian physician and anatomist, and he was a founder of microscopic anatomy. Microscopic anatomy is nothing but using the microscope to know about the particular microorganism. Okay, next coming to Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, must be very very familiar with this person, is because the scientist is because he is a person. You can see the picture here, Antony van Leeuwenhoek, and you must have seen these pictures as well in your textbooks, in previous textbooks as well. Must have come across this name as well, because he was the first one to use microscope. So Antony van Leeuwenhoek was the first one to use the microscope, and he was the first one to discover microorganisms. Okay, remember this. Once again, I'm repeating, he was the first one to use microscope and discovered microorganisms. And he was the first one to discover microorganisms. And earlier that time, microscopes were of not much precision, I can say, but still we could see these microorganisms. Still, you couldn't see the internal structures better precision, but we could have seen the microorganisms there. What Antony van Leeuwenhoek did is he took the rainwater and he saw it under the microscope. So when he saw what is that rainwater in the microscope, he could see small organisms inside the microscope moving, or something, that some activity is going on. Okay. So what he did was, he could only see that through the microscope, that too in the rainwater. So what happened was, he just named it. He just named it as an animalcules. Okay, animalcules is nothing but, in Latin word, that is a little animal. Okay, animalcule is nothing but, in Latin, it is nothing but is known as little animals. Okay, it is little animals. So little animals like structures. So he just gave the name little animal for them. So he named it as animalcule, which were actually protozoans, and he named this as microorganism as animalcules. That means smaller or little organism. He just gave the name animalcule for these microorganisms. Okay, he didn't knew it, no, that what it is actually. Later, the term was coined, microorganisms. Okay, later the term was coined, microorganism. Before that, Antony van Leeuwenhoek used it as animalcules. If you have any doubts, please put it down in your chat box. Once again, I'm going to refresh the class. Once again, that is biology means nothing but the study of life. Bio means life, and logos means study. Okay, bio means life, logos means study. Biology is nothing but the study of life, or to know more about life. Actually, there are a few requests over here that ma'am, please tell Kannada. So I'm so sorry. I'll try.